Yeah, we're here on Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame on YouTube channel. You can subscribe at Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. Subscribe for free. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and we're pretty close now. We're like at 967. So anybody subscribes to Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame, we appreciate it. We're here. We're talking with Ray Seals, the 1972 gold medal winner. He's a 1972 gold medal winner, and he fought a guy named Marvin Hagler, who might be the greatest middleweight of all time. 3 times. He once fought him to a draw in 1974. So I've got some pictures of Sugar Ray Seals. He's the 1970 gold. I got him pictures hanging out with a guy named Sammy Davis Jr. And that doesn't happen. And then he's with 1976 gold medal winner Michael Spinks. Which is phenomenal. And then he's hanging out with Buster Douglas, who knocked out Mike Tyson. He was a 42-1 underdog. It's the biggest upset in boxing history. And then he's hanging out with Marvin Hagler, Muhammad Ali, Ray Mancini, and their wives. Some of these pictures he has. But one of the best stories I like is when he drank wild turkey with Evel Knievel. I mean, that's one of the best ones. And then he's hanging out with Sammy Davis Jr., he's a 1972 gold medal winner. I'm going to let Sugar Ray speak, but I do have one thing here. Here he is, the 1972 Olympic team. Him and Marvin Johnson did our very first Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame podcast. Marvin was a 1978 WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, 1979 WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, and the 1986 WBA light heavyweight champion, or 3-time light heavyweight champion of the world. And he knocked out Matt Paloff, who was a gold medal winner in 72. Matt Paloff fought at 178. Marvin Johnson fought at 165. So in 1978, to challenge for the championship of the world, he has to go over to Italy, and he knocks out Matt Paloff in his hometown. Ray Seals. Ray Seals, you can't do what Ray Seals. How many amateur fights, Ray Seals?
350 amateur fights, 12 years, 12 losses. You know, I boxed 19 years. I had 430 fights, 19 losses. You know, I love the game. My dad was a fighter. I had 3 other brothers at that time was fighters together. We all fought. I ain't the oldest, but I'm one of them, and I love the game. Boxing. I started my boxing career in Tacoma, Washington with a coach by the name of Joe Cloud. Joe Cloud, he's great. He became a great coach. He coached 3 guys into 2 Olympics and come back with 2 gold medals.
Who was the gold medal winners?
Leo Randolph, myself, Sugar Ray Seals, and Davey Armstrong. We all went to the Olympics together. Davey Armstrong went to 2 Olympics. He went to 72. He won a couple of fights. He didn't win no medals, but he turned around. He went to the 76 Olympics with Leo Randolph. He didn't win no medals again, but he won some fights. So he should, traveling for 2 Olympics, he was the best that Tacoma had at one time.
Well, and let's face it, Tacoma, Washington is your hometown, and you did put them on the map, when you won the 1972 Olympics. And when they flew into the airplane, they said what? What'd they say?
You are now landing at the Sugar Ray Seals International. Say, wow.
Airport. So, and that's what he did for Seattle, Washington. And I have a picture here, and that's you and Marvin Johnson. You see this picture here? And you're hitting him with the bolo punch.
Marvin
Hagler, the greatest middleweight of all time. Yep. Maybe Carlos Monzon. You could put him there. They're probably the 2 best middleweights in the world. And in 1974, in Seattle Center area, you fought him to a draw. In
I thought I won that fight.
Yeah.
I thought I won that fight, but because Tacoma, Washington didn't understand professionalism at the time and how great fights are and how great it was going to be, they drove it to the draw.
Yeah.
But I won that fight.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
And Marvin Hagler knows it too. That's how he's in heaven now, but he knew that was a win for me and a loss for him.
Absolutely. And I'm going through here. I just posted it just the other day on Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame on Instagram. It's called The Tale of Two Sugars. It's Sugar Ray Seals and Sugar Ray Leonard. Correct. One's a 1972 gold medal winner. That's Sugar Ray Seals. And then one's a 1976 gold medal winner. And that's Sugar Ray Leonard. And there's a picture of you and your boy and Sugar Ray Seals. Yeah. Tell us about it.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
My name is Ray Seals.
Yeah.
In 1965, I was given the name Sugar
Okay.
because of Sugar Ray Robinson. So I was the second Sugar Ray. Ray Leonard is his name. Somewhere down the road there, he was given the name Sugar. So now there's two Sugars. We both was amateurs together. We both was Olympic world champion, Olympic gold medalists together. We both fought in the world professional together. We both got hurt eye damage together.
Yeah.
He had all the money. I had to keep fighting to get mine fixed. But hey, and then we both lived in Washington. I lived in Washington State. He lived in Washington D.C. That's the two Sugars.
It's on YouTube.
That's
Tell us Two
history.
Sugars. It is history.
That is
that's
history.
What I'm after. And and here's one I'm going to say, Sugar. All right. You got to remember the tale of two Sugars. Tell them in 1972 we had what we have. We had the terrorist attack.
We had the terrorist attack there.
Tell them what happened.
Yeah, it was Israelis that killed each other.
Yes.
I mean, the teammates. I mean, there was so much going on there. And at the same time, my mom, my dad was there. So I had to change from being a fighter to being an adult to protect them. And then turn around after protecting them to be back to a fighter, to go out and do what I was set out to do for the United States of America. And that was to win an Olympic gold medal. Didn't believe I'd be the only one, but I knew I'd be one.
But we're going to go through it, okay? 1972, you won 5 fights, correct?
Yes, sir.
So tell the first fight you won.
Ireland,
Ireland,
Cuba,
Yugoslavia,
Bulgaria.
Bulgarian. Okay. So the Bulgarian you hit with the bolo punch.
With the bolo punch.
And then you dropped him, and that's how you end up winning the gold medal. Now, you got to remember, how many members on the 72 that got 72 team got a medal?
3.
Okay.
Three different. Marvin Johnson, Ricardo Carreras, and Jesse Valdez. Those 2 came out the Air Force.
And I saw Jesse Valdez at a USA boxing alumni, and you know me, I like to call you when I see those guys. And hey, there's my man Ray Seals. You want to talk to him?
Yep.
Yeah. So I got a picture. I got a picture right here, and I think this is 2 Tacoma, Washington guys. Is that right there?
Yeah, that's Leo Randolph, myself.
Leo Randolph and Sugar Ray Seals. They were both 1970.
I won my gold medal in 72. Leo got his in 76.
76, yeah. So they both were from Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma,
yeah.
And then he was a professional champ at the one time.
Yes, he did win a world championship. He was a world champion as well.
Yeah. Leo Randolph.
And
then he comes from the same coach that we all had, Joe Cloud.
Joe Cloud was the most famous coach there
in Washington.
In Washington.
Yes, for sure. And now he's in the Philippines.
I got it.
Doing his job. I mean, steady training winners.
But this is my story. There you are with Evel Knievel. So Evel Knievel's one of the most famous daredevils of all time.
Boy,
yeah, he is a daredevil. I mean, he broke every bone in his body.
That's for sure.
I mean, the guy had balls that big. Let's be honest. But tell me how you met Evel Knievel, and tell me the whole rundown of that.
I don't believe that the wild turkey helped him.
You guys did drink wild turkey, but let's talk about.
I don't think it helped him.
I understand that, but tell me how you met Evel Knievel. Tell me how you met him.
We just so happened that we was in Butte, Montana at the same time.
Butte, Montana.
Butte, Montana. And I think we come out of a bar.
Okay. You come out of a bar.
Come out of a bar, and we met each other right there, and then we just became friends. Sugar Ray Seals, Olympic gold medalist. We're friends with Evel Knievel, the craziest guy out there. Why not?
And then you guys hung out that day, and you would talked all kinds of different stuff. Evel Knievel. I love it how we got all these pictures up on Facebook. What are the greatest?
I even got on his motorcycle one time.
Oh man, this is good motorcycle. Look at those crashes. Look at all that Evel. I mean, some of the stuff that Evel done, and then you guys are hanging out. How much wild turkey did you drink?
I drink too much. It carried me out.
All right,
I drank too much, man.
And I love Evel Knievel and his son Robbie. What a great daredevils. Yeah. But these stories need to be told. This is greatness. Here is what we're talking about. This is greatness. This ain't average Joe stuff.
Real.
It's real stuff.
It's real stuff, man. This is what I've done. It's real stuff.
Okay. Who's this guy here? Mike Tyson. Have you guys ever heard of Mike Tyson?
Come on.
He is the youngest heavyweight champion of all time at age 20. He won the heavyweight championship of the world.
He was Iron Mike.
Iron Mike. And,
Iron
and so I said, let's go see him. Let's go see him. There was a signing in New York. So me and Sugar Ray, we were on our way. We go see my Iron Mike. And at the same time, he lost his phone. Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson at age 20. He was taught by the punch count, and I'm going to go through the punch count real quick for you because the jab is the 7, okay?
Yep.
And then the 1 is the left hook, and then the 3 is the left uppercut, and the 3 and the 5 is the left hook to the body. So that's how he was taught. And then the 2 is the right hand, the 4 is the right uppercut, and the 6 is the right hook to the body. Mike Tyson might be the most famous fighter of all time. The cover of Sports Illustrated 15 times.
Wow.
I mean, we've had a sensational time. He was a 1984 alternate. He got beat out by Henry Tillman, who he knocked down, and they still didn't give him the fight. So let's face it. Let's look at the greatness that we got there. And then we're going to the National Boxing Hall of Fame. We're going to the National Boxing Hall of Fame. We're going to hang out with Marvin Johnson, who's getting inducted into the National Boxing.
Just realized the guy that's talking, CEO of the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame, Craig Hawk.
Yeah, I got some history.
Come on. And he ain't reading nothing. They just coming straight out.
It's straight out, man. It's all up in the mindset.
Come on.
But I'm out to chasing the greatness, and that's what we have here. Sugar Ray Seals, what he accomplished in his career is not average stuff. It's greatness, and that's what I'm bringing to Indiana. So I try to tell them, hey, let's bring greatness to Indiana because look, you think of Indianapolis. I think of the NCAA. We're gonna have the first 2 tournaments right here. I'm thinking the Indy 500. It's the biggest race of all time. Let's make it big. Let's don't think small. Let's don't stay small. So we're bringing in a guy named Don King this year.
Have mercy.
Don King's coming into the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame.
Only in America.
I mean, come on, man. I'm bringing in greats people here, and they didn't think I could pull it off, but I'm hitting them with so many left hooks they don't know if a right's coming next.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's talk about when we go to the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, and there was a guy named Roberto Duran and Iran Barkley are getting inducted the same day. So me and Sugar are having lunch with them.
Yeah.
We're having lunch. We're eating pizza. We're talking boxing. And in 1989, they fought for the middleweight world championship, the WBA middleweight world championship. Iran Barkley and Roberto Duran. Wow. And they put on a fight that you wouldn't believe. He hit Roberto Duran and he almost spun around. He barely stayed up. And then late in the fight, Duran drops him with the right hand. Yeah. And you got to remember, Iran Barkley, was the only person to beat Tommy Hearns 2 times, and he knocked out Tommy Hearns. Yeah. And how about this? Tommy Hearns knocks out Roberto Duran with the only person to ever knock out Roberto Duran. So that's what makes boxing great.
Yes.
All right, I got a picture here now. Who's this? I think this is Frank Shorter. Frank Shorter.
Uh-huh.
Olympics 72.
72, yep.
So where was this picture taken at?
That's right there in the village.
In the village,
Germany.
And he was a runner, right?
Yep. A United States track star.
So there was two of the gold medal winners.
Yep, out of the Washington, close. He's from Portland, and I'm from Seattle, Tacoma.
Okay, now I know your wife has just passed away, and it's been hard for you to deal with it. But I was able to capture you, Buster Douglas, and your wife together. Yeah. What a great picture that was. A great memory for Ray Seals. These are all Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. You can see them on Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame Facebook. Ray Seals is a 1972 gold medal winner. He's a USBA and NABF championship. And he actually knocked out a guy named Sammy Naismith here in Indianapolis in 1981 at Market Square Arena.
We fought twice.
And he stopped him in the first round in round 5. And then he fought him again here in Indianapolis. And what round did you stop him?
Round 5.
Round 5. It's
Slam. They called him Slamming Sammy. Good people.
Great fight. He was a National Golden Glove champion. Yes. What a puncher. Him and
Marvin Johnson and Norman Goings, they was all the 3.
The big 3. Marvin Johnson, Norman Goings, and Sammy Naismith. It's called the big 3.
The big 3.
And we're trying to get the big 3 in the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. We've got Norman in. We got Marvin in. So that, obviously we can put Sammy in at any time because he's deceased. So, you think about that. You think about it, and Ray Seals is part of that. He won the USBA middleweight championship at that time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he won the USBA middleweight championship when he knocked out him. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Fred Burns brought him in here thinking that he was blind and heard all the rumors that he couldn't fight no more. And he was blind. You actually was pretty much blind, but you still able to knock him out. Pretty incredible.
Boxing eye.
All right, so I got a picture here. Okay, this is at the Indiana Boxing Hall. We got Michael Spinks. We got Buster Douglas. We got Harold Brazier. We got Nate Tubbs. We got Tony Tubbs. We got Ray Seals. We got Eva Jones-Young. We got Tom Boom Boom Johnson. We got Angel Manfredi. This is what we're talking about, greatness, bringing in the greatest fighters to ever fight in Indiana. Then we got Michael Spinks, Buster Douglas, Michael Nunn. Michael Nunn fought in Indiana. He stopped Norman. So, I mean, he's a great fighter. So this is who we got coming in next year. Antonio Tarver. Michael Spinks, Felix Trinidad. Yeah. Come on, man. And Don King. Don King's coming in. So what was your relationship with any of Don King? What was any relationship with Don King?
Well, Don King, we was looking to promote another championship fight with Marvin Hagler.
Okay.
But then things fell through. Don had the promoters come to New York, spend time in the hotel 3 days, run out of money, and then he didn't want to do it. He wanted $1 million to turn us on to the promoter that could promote the fight. Not saying that Don King was going to promote the fight.
The other guy could.
He wanted $1 million. You had to go through him to get to the next guy to hope that you get a fight. So it didn't work. Those guys, they committed suicide.
Yeah, it was a rough day.
Rough deal. I mean, go to New York to do something great, and all of a sudden it falls apart.
Yeah, and that's the way we want to feel. So what's your feeling on Marvin Johnson here from Minneapolis? What's your relationship with Marvin?
Best of friends.
Yeah.
I met Marvin.
His wife, Dolores, too.
I met Marvin in 1971 in, I think, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We trained for the Olympics, qualifying for the Olympic trial, for the Olympics itself. And that's where I met Marvin in 1971, and we became friends all the way through to the Olympics. I told Marvin, I said, man, when I was standing next to a Lincoln Continental, I said, Marvin, when I win my gold medal, I'm going to get me one of these. Well, when I won that gold medal, I ended up with two Lincoln Continentals, man. And so we've been friends. And now I went back to Tacoma, and all of a sudden it just so happened that I met a lady from Indianapolis, my wife. Ain't that something?
Yeah, that's where you met her right here.
That's where I met right here in Indianapolis.
Keep going.
And we met, and she followed me back to Tacoma, and all of a sudden we just really hooked up and I got married. We've been married for 33 years. She passed away a couple of weeks ago, but she's good. I mean, she's in heaven, and we had a great life together, 33 years.
All right, I want to speak about a time we went to the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
And we got Marvin Johnson, Ray Seals, Marlon Starlin, all there. Charles Murray was there. So all of us there. Then there's a picture of you and the CEO of the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame and Marvin Johnson. So we made sure that. So my goal was when I started the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame to get guys at higher levels, and I think we've mastered that. Marvin's going to the National Boxing Hall of Fame. He's in the Rochester Boxing Hall of Fame. He's in other Boxing Hall of Fames as well. So he's in the World Boxing Hall of Fame. But unfortunately, the World Boxing Hall of Fame fell through. So I was trying to explain to people about these belts. The WBA belt is the most powerful belt. WBA was started in 1921.
Yes,
the WBC was started in 1963. The IBF was started in 1983, and the WBO was started in 1988. So we're talking about boxing history.
Yes,
that's the four biggest belts. And I think that's where it confuses people who's champion, who's not champion. Back in the old days, we had one champion, correct?
Yes, sir.
The WBA. And then one time we had and then the WBC come around in 1963. So then we had two champions. And when we had two champions, it was very hard to win a belt, correct?
Yes.
I mean, in the NABF and the USBA, when you win those belts, it gets you world rated, which Marvin's world. Yeah, Marvin Sugar got world rated after winning the fight, and he was trying to get a shot with Marvin Johnson won last time.
Yeah.
And it fell through.
It fell through.
So there's a picture of the 1972 Olympic team, you and Marvin Johnson together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's real.
And tell us about this, your experience with the 1970. Tell us about the experience with the 1972 Olympic team.
You know, I learned a lot. Well, actually, it happened so fast because you had to be friends, you had to be a teammate, and you had to be on the team and be ready when you travel. So it was just putting a team together from the United States. It wasn't easy. You had to earn your position. Now, Marvin Johnson and I, we became friends in Munich. We got together next to a car, Lincoln. I said, man, I like that car. I said, Marvin, I'm going to win me a trophy. Oh, I'm going to win this gold medal. When I win this gold medal, I'm going to give me one of these cars. I mean, Marvin laughed.
Of course.
It was
well,
funny.
here's the funny thing about it. When I brought you guys on in the very first podcast, I tried to explain how did Sugar Ray responded with the Olympics. He was terrified for his parents. He was out doing this. He was out doing that. I said, Marvin, how did you handle the terrorist attacks? And he said he took a nap. He was asleep. He handled it totally different. So it did not phase him whatsoever. But Sugar, he was up worried and everything. But he created what's called the Bolo Punch. And I think he got it from a guy named
Kid
Gavilan. And tell them what the Bolo Punch does with the whip.
It lifts you up off the canvas. It almost tears your head off.
Yeah.
Your neck.
So that's what his you see him in the 1972 Olympics. He drops the bolo, the Bulgarian.
The Bulgarian, B for the bolo.
Yeah, with the Bolo Punch. And that's how he ended up winning the 1972 Olympics.
Yep.
He's a 1972 Olympic gold.
Only.
Okay, only. Yeah, then I try to explain these only. So I got a picture of him. This is me, Marvin Johnson, Evander Holyfield in the ring in Louisville, Kentucky, talking to Evander Holyfield.
That's something.
And we wanted to ask Evander how he felt about Mike Tyson biting his ear off. That's the $1 million question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to ask him? I said, well, we got to ask him the $1 million. How'd you feel? He said, first he wanted to bite his ear off back as well. Yeah. But then he said, you know, after it happened and they both made over 20 million or 30 million, I don't remember what number he said. He just let it go. He said, let it go. He let it go. He had to give. He had to forgive him. And I went on the Oprah show, and they're friends now.
$1 million.
$1 million.
A bite for $1 million.
So there's me and Evander and Sugar Ray Seals.
Yes,
and I love taking Sugar Ray to those events because it's instant credibility. He's a 72 gold medal winner, and he's a superstar.
Yes, sir.
And there we got Sugar Ray Seals, me, and Layman Brewster, who's the 2004 WBO heavyweight champion of the world. Only one from Indianapolis, Indiana. I've had him here on this podcast. You know, so we got some greatness coming in here.
Yes,
we got Nate Tubbs, Tony Tubbs, Michael Spinks, Michael Nunn, all at the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. And Sugar adds to this. Did you know that Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought here in the Indiana Black Expo?
I saw a picture.
Yes, and here's the picture right here.
There's
a picture of, and he's got the Indiana. He's got the Indiana belt. Right there on the thing.
Yeah,
and I was talking. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, and there he is at 13 or 14 years old.
That's something.
So me, Michael Spinks, Ray Seals, and Marvin Johnson jump on a plane April 23rd, and we head to California, the National Boxing Hall of Fame. And we're going to have the blast, okay? The event goes from the 24th to the 26th, and we're going to have a 3-day weekend. Our tickets are already paid. Our room's already paid. We pull in there, and we hang out with Marvin Johnson and Dolores, his wife, Mrs. Johnson. And is that going to be an event or what?
Hey.
Sugar Ray Leonard's going to be there.
See there?
Look at there. Layla Ali's going to be there.
Mercy.
I mean, David Tua is going to be there. How many world champions are going to be there? I mean, we got 3 classes because of the COVID-19, but there was only one champion during COVID-19. There was only one Hall of Fame that went, and which Hall of Fame was it? See, I got him already. It's Indiana. Indiana was the only Hall of Fame in 2020. Nobody else had it because they didn't have the balls. They didn't have the courage. Sugar. I hit them with a bolo punch.
Yeah,
they
you
never seen that coming. And I hit them. They go, "You going to do the event?" I said, "I guarantee I'm going to do the event." "You
Yes,
think they're
sir.
going to show up?" I said, "Michael Spinks is going to show up. Buster Douglas is going to show up. Michael Nunn shows up." So they all showed up
showed
here.
up.
They all actually come here for the podcast. They come walking in here, and I was like, "There's Buster Douglas walking. Here comes Michael Spinks." And everybody was flipping out. And we got him here, and we had one of the great, 2020 was the best Indiana boxing.
of the Indiana boxing
I'm sticking him with the
Hall of
jab.
Fame.
I'm sticking him with the
Craig
jab,
Hall.
man.
Hey,
Look,
man, he dropped the Macho Man
with the left hook.
with the left hook.
Yes.
He
that's true.
faked the right and the left hook on. They bow.
Well, when you're not as talented or you're not as gifted, you got to have some tricks. You got to have something up your
Yes.
sleeve so you can match these guys at the world class level. So I threw a right hand, and he thought he
And
had
left
me, and
hook,
then I
yeah.
hit him with the left hook.
He went for the
And
right
then-
hand. He
yeah.
got the hook.
I'll tell you
Yes,
my
sir.
best experience with Don King. Don King. Have you ever heard of this guy, Don King?
Only in
Don-
America.
Okay. So in 1994, I was fighting for Don King in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. It was Craig Houck, Meldrick Taylor, Felix Trinidad, Hector Camacho, Julio Cesar Chavez, Frankie Randall, who upset him that night. That was the night I met.
Don King.
Don King, and I can only speak positive about him. I don't have nothing really negative stuff. But you got to remember, I'm only a 100,000 error. I'm only 100,000 error. The other guys are millionaires, so obviously he's going to steal more money. Everybody says, "Well, what about the steal money?" I'm like, "Look, man, at every level, somebody's stealing some type of money. At every level, small level, big level. We go out here on the street. I pick up this guy. Hey, you want to be a professional boxer and make $300 a night?" And the idiot says, "Correct." And then we put him in there, and we go over there some Kentucky or someplace. We put gloves on him. We let him fight, and he gets knocked out. And he makes $300, and he goes home. Now, what they did was he really made $500, and the coach made $200. He just put it in his pocket. So that stuff's been going on all its life. What do you think, Sugar?
You got that right.
It's just the way it is. I
It's
mean,
the way it is,
it's
man.
boxing, and it's supposed boxing.
Yes, it is.
I got Sugar Ray Seals. What was your greatest moment? You think your greatest moment was when you got the draw with Hagler? Was that your greatest moment in your professional career?
Well, yes and no, but then I fought Alan Minter,
Alan Mentor,
London, England,
middleweight world champion.
middleweight world champion.
Yeah.
You know, I lost that one too, but yeah, I've been places and I've had good fights with fighters.
You
I've
fought in
learned a
Madison
lot.
Square Garden, right?
I fought twice in Madison Square Garden.
That's the world's most famous
Yes, sir.
arena. I fought
Come
there in
on, man.
'96. Blessed enough to
I
fight
fought
there in '96.
Ronnie Harris.
Ronnie House, a world champion. And you know what? Sammy A. Smith knocked him out with the left hook. How about that?
Hey,
Ain't that
some people can, and some people can't. It ain't the same.
Yeah, you're totally correct.
You ain't gonna get the same fighter that Charles got last week. You're gonna get a different fighter.
I got a picture of Sugar Ray Seals and Bernard Hopkins.
Ain't that
Who's
something?
Bernard Hopkins? Bernard Hopkins is the oldest world champion in boxing history. There again, we could talk with history. There's a guy at age 47 that wins the world championship. 47, 48, he's still world champion.
Yeah.
That's the oldest world champion. His name's Bernard Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Had all kinds of title defenses, all times of great fighters. And I got a guy named Muhammad Ali hanging out with Jimmy Lennon. Who's Jimmy Lennon? All right, so the truth is, Muhammad Ali came here for the Indiana Black Expo, and he fought here in Indiana. And today, I wanted to make sure that we talked about Wise Financial and Roof It Forward, who's our sponsors.
Yes.
Mark and Craig Stevens are two of the best guys, and Mike Susans are some of the best guys that I've ever met. And we wouldn't be at this level if it wasn't for there. I want you to talk about Ernie Shavers. Have you ever heard of him? Ernie Shavers. So we go to New York. I tell Sugar, I said, let's jump in the car. Let's go to New York. I know there's going to be a signing there. We'll see as many champions as we can. So I'm standing right next to Ernie Shavers. And Ernie Shavers goes, "Boy, did you even know boxing?" I said, "Look, you was 74, 14, one draw, 68 knockouts." He goes, "That's good enough for a picture. Let's get her a picture with him as well." And there's Ray Seals with Sugar.
You know the right words to say.
Yeah, I told him straight up when I first met Marvin Johnson. I told him straight up, I watched you fight Lamont Lovelady in 1971 at the Civic Center in Iowa, and now I start talking their language. Buster Douglas, he could have told me to go screw myself when I walked into to there. And the first thing I said is, "Your dad's name's Billy Douglas, and he fought Marvin Johnson." And I even told him the year and date, and then he said, "Okay, let's talk." You know, and that's how you do it. You start
Yep.
speaking people's languages.
You got to know.
What's going
You
on?
got to know what's going on. Come on, man. You're talking to Craig Hawk.
Yeah.
Craig Hawk, I mean, I'm surprised that he's still going as far as he's going and long as he's going. I'm surprised.
Well-
but hang with it.
Look, man, here's the thing. When you promote, how hard is it to promote Mike Tyson? How hard is it to promote Sugar Ray Seals? How hard is it to promote Marvin Johnson, greatness, the greatest fighters in the world? It's not that hard to do it. All you got to do is switch your attention from you 100% to them 75% and you 10% and everybody else at the same time. And share as much love as you can and give as much back as you can and do as much positive as you can. And let's be safe. We're as humble as we get.
Yes, for sure.
So today when we walk in
sure.
St. Elmo's and have a steak, are you thinking about that? We St. Elmo's and we have a steak. We just be as humble as we can. And I say, who's with you? And I'll say, Ray Seals, 1972 gold. Now, he hasn't slipped out that gold medal yet, but I think he's going to pull the gold medal out for us. Now, Sugar, can you pull the gold medal? Now, look, this gold medal is how many years old?
It's 49.
49 years old. When will it be 50 years old?
September 10th, it's going to be
50 years old. Look at that gold medal. You know, and the thing about that with that gold medal, I don't know how many people, he might be the greatest 72 gold medal winner as showing it to everybody, as many people as he can, sharing it with as many people as he can.
I had
being
this,
as positive.
I carried this 49 years in my pocket. And just think how many people saw it, took pictures with it, or even touched it.
We like to thank Matt Stevens from Stevenson's Jewelry. He's fixed
Yes.
this gold medal for him twice
Several
in Greensburg,
times, yep.
Indiana. That's my
Yes, for
hometown
sure.
where I grew up. And
Great job. Great
you know, I
job.
do a lot of positive stuff. I posted a lot of stuff on things for Greensburg, and some people they'll hate on me. Nobody cares, or they'll say something. I'm like, that's because you never even got that far. You didn't even make it out of town. And me and Ray, we're all over the world, and we try to be as positive and give back as much as we can. We were in the Greensburg Fair this year. Was that fair parade also?
That was excellent.
We were in the parade, and we shook as many hands.
Yeah.
Mike Novak, my freshman basketball coach, I got him to meet and shake his hand and talk about Sugar Ray Seals. We had a blast. Sugar, what do you want to say to your fans today? You know, Joe Cloud, all your buddies back in Tacoma. What do you want to say to those people today?
I'm going back to Tacoma.
In August, correct?
Yeah. August, September. I'll be back, y'all.
So June
coming.
3rd and 4th is the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. It's at the Embassy Suites at Plainfield,
sir.
Indiana. You're going to see world champion after world champion. There's 14 world champions going to be there. It's going to be on there. So the event starts at 5:30. The happy hour starts at 5:30. The event starts at 7. The happy hour goes from 5:30 to 7:30. The event goes from 7 to 9:30 on Friday night, and then Saturday it starts right around 11, and we'll start it again. And there'll be autograph session signing. Michael Nunn comes in. Michael Nunn comes in to give his speech. Marvin Johnson, the WBA's flying in. The WBA gives Marvin Johnson his belt. That he went from winning the WBA belt. Don King will be in. Don King's right hand man is Aaron Snowell, who trained Mike Tyson. He will be coming in. So, Aaron Snowell comes in. And I always wanted to ask Aaron Snowell. I was like, Aaron, 1990, when you worked Tyson's corner, I said, you put this little ice thing in on at a plug. He said, Craig, the corner man did not bring an inswell to fix Buster's Mike Tyson's eye. He didn't know that Buster Douglas was going to give him that type of blues and upsetting. They didn't have an inswell to work his corner. No, they weren't ready. So I talked to Aaron about it. I started blaming Aaron. He goes, wait a second, I wasn't even the corner man. I was helping out. He said, I just put ice into a glove and put it on his eye. He goes, something's better than nothing. Then I understood. Yep. And Aaron Snowell's a world, he's a Hall of Fame trainer, and he comes in, and he comes in, Aaron Snowell, Don King, Carl King, they'll both come in. Carl and Don promoted fight here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Not in Indianapolis, but on one of the boats. They promoted fights. They'll be coming in. Ray Seals will be there. Okay, we're going to have a time. And we're going to say goodbye to Ray Seals on Friday night because he's leaving for Tacoma, Washington in August. So we're going to do something for Ray Seals. We're going to let Michael Spinks comes in. He flies in. He's going to be handing his ring, his Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame ring. So Friday night, to get all that going on. And then Saturday is the inductions for all the inductees. We're going to have autograph sessions. We're going to do an auction off this, like Mike Tyson glove right here. We're going to auction off this Mike Tyson glove when we go to the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame on Friday night. The opening bid's at $150. And guess how quick that sucker is going to go? Well, the bid just goes up and up and up and from there. So we have a Mike Tyson autograph signed picture from Tyson, and everybody goes, "Is that really from Mike Tyson?" I'm like, "Yeah, there he is, right there. There's Mike right there." So, and I got Mike signing it too. So so I wanted to make sure. I want to make sure. Yeah. So there he is, Mike Tyson signing the autographed glove. So it's authentic. And I think that's the best way we look at it. Me and Sugar Ray approach it is we're authentic. Whatever I say I'm going to do, I do.
You do.
Today we had a person that canceled on us, and I told him I will not cancel again on Wyatt, what he does down here for Wave One Media. He does a great job down here. We will not cancel on him. I called Sugar Ray. I said, "Ray, let's go live. I'll pay the money, and we'll go have a great time. We'll go eat at St. Elmo's Steakhouse."
Come in.
And he's coming, and that's how we got here today. And we're promoting the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. That will be June 3rd and 4th, and we're hoping that Wyatt puts the video up before the event so we can promote it and get as many followers on Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. We have over 31,000 views on Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame this podcast. So we're trying to do positive stuff. We're trying to put good people in here. Ray Seals is one of the greatest fighters to ever live. He fought in Indiana. He should be in the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. And here's what I'm going to explain to people. The International Boxing Hall of Fame is so hard to make. It is so hard to make. We have one person from the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame that ever made the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and that's Tony Zale. And Tony Zale was a world champion from 1940 to 1948. He was a middleweight world champion. So that's hard to do. So it's supply and demand. The Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame is now in the top 5 Hall of Fames in the world, in the nation. And we took a lot of hard work and a lot of hard spots. I knew how to get there. I knew where I was going. I knew I couldn't be stopped. So, when you bring great people in and put the best in the Hall of Fame, the cream always goes to the what?
Hey, man, we got ran over by a deer.
Yeah, Sugar wants to talk about this ran over a deer. Tell him what time it was in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning, me and Sugar on our way to the USA Boxing Alumni Hall of Fame, which they suckered me. John Scully suckers me and says, "Hey, can you bring Sugar Ray to the USA Boxing Hall of Fame?" Because he's famous. I'm just going to bring him. Okay, cool. So we get in there. I'm driving. It's about 3 in the morning, and a deer jumps over the guardrail, jumps on my rent-a-car. Thank God it was a rent-a-car, and busts the window open, and me and Sugar hit it going 80 mile an hour. And then we're like, "Oh, we don't know what to do." So we pull out that thing, and it says roadside assistance. So we call roadside assistance. And then they go there. And then we get there, and we have to go to the rent-a-car place. We go to the rent-a-car place. They give us a new rent-a-car.
Yes, sir.
We jump back on the road.
And kept on
going. We get there, and it was driving, no sleep, no nothing. We're driving. We pull up. The event starts at 7. We get there at 7:16, and me and Ray Seals walk in, and picture, Sugar Ray all over the place. But that's the way it worked on that day in there.
If you don't go, you won't know.
You won't know what's going on. So I go to every Hall of Fame there is, and I see as much positive stuff as I can. And a lot of people say, "I went to that Hall of Fame. I went to that Hall of Fame." That's what's going on. Sugar, I'm going to give you to anybody the last 3 minutes to say anything you want to your fans.
Thank you, fans. Appreciate everything you've done for. I'm excited for winning the Olympic gold medal for the United States of America, and to be able to make it around and to be rewarded. Oh, thank you, and all that. I appreciate that. I appreciate giving, because that's what I am. Muhammad Ali said to me, in order to be a great person, you got to give. You got to learn to take it out of your heart and give it to someone else. So, and then I want to say I thought I lost my wife, but I haven't. She's in heaven, so she's where we're all going to go sooner or later. Bless her heart. 33 years, bless the parents, family. I'm going back to Washington State, though, to be with my family.
He'll do that in August. Sugar Ray Seals goes back to the Indiana.
Tacoma, Washington.
Tacoma, Washington. This is what Don King looks at age 90. Don King comes into the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame June 3rd, June 4th. I'm trying to get him on this podcast right here so he can speak to Wyatt as well. And then we can promote boxing instead of MMA. No, I'm just joking. I don't mind MMA at all. Those guys are tough guys. I'll give them some credit. Don King is 90 years old. He's coming to the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. That will be June 3rd and 4th. His son Carl will be inducted at the same time. That will be history. Felix Trinidad and his dad will be inducted the same day. That is history. That's a boxing history. Nobody has ever got that far and done. Nobody has ever been boxed and voted into any Hall of Fame, father and son, same day, same time.
Wow.
And we'll be setting history.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy.
That's heavy. What do you got to say, Sugar?
Only Craig Hawk can do things like that.
It's my man, Sugar Ray Seals.
Listen, when word gets around, everything's all right.
Amen.
That's it. You got to be ready for anything that Craig puts on, because if you don't be ready, you're going to miss it and you're going to be upset. Don't get mad. Get that ticket. Come on out, y'all.
That's all right. June 3rd, June 4th. We will see you then.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, man, look, Sugar, give me a 5. Give me some love. All love, brother.
See that?
It's
straight. That's all. Every day it's the same thing. It's love.
Sugar Ray Seals.
We do the right thing.
Yeah, we go out and do positive stuff.
What's the word? What's the line that we got, man?
If you want to lose your money, bet on Sonny.
That's
a
what we talk
wrap,
about.
man.
All right.
That's good stuff.